Welcome to another SolidWorks video by NCCS, your SolidWorks provider. In today's video, we're going to talk about spline curves. Spline curves allows us to draw complex curves with a high accuracy. We don't use that very often, but when we can master the way that we use it, they can be very helpful. Let's first look at just the normal spline curves. Normal spline curves allows us to create a curve between the points specified. And after you've done your sketch, you'll see these handles on your curve. If they're not shown, just right click onto your spline curve and ensure show spline handlers are on. These handlers allows you to change the vector at that point. So for example, the diamond allows you to adjust the angle of the direction vector at that point. And the triangle handler allows you to adjust the magnitude and size of the spline handler, which then it changes the magnitude of the spline vector at that particular point as well. The point at the end of the handler allows you to control both the angle and magnitude at the same time. We can also constrain our spline handlers. If we want it as vertical, just click that. And note how the diamonds are now black, which means they constrain in that direction. We can't move them any further. We can also dimension the spline by creating a relation between the points. We can also dimension, say, the magnitude of the handler. And we can also create a construction line so that we can obtain the angle. Obtain the angle of the spline handler. In the option menu, you can also display, so if you right click onto your spline curve, you could click display control polygon. It shows the control points for your spline curve, and you can drag them, you can adjust them to change the way your spline behaves. There are other options like insert spline points, add curvature control, and add tangency control. Furthermore, there's one more important feature which is called a simplified spline. Essentially simplifies your spline curve for you and reduces the amount of sketch points. Now let's look at another kind of spline. This is called the equation-driven curve. So you have two types of equations, implicit and parametric. You can just type in your equation. Just gonna go to and you have your curve here. Another type of spline is called a style spline. You have a few options of spline type here. Generally just go with Blender. You can create a curve just simply by drawing onto your first control point, second control point, and third and last control point. This will create one smooth span, and you can use the control points to modify and refine your curve. That's it for today. Thank you for watching another SolidWorks video by NCCS, your SolidWorks provider.